In the depths of a cold, unforgiving city, where dreams go to die and hope seems like a distant memory, we find a man named Jack. Once a successful businessman with a loving family, Jack now wanders the streets, his possessions reduced to the clothes on his back and the memories that haunt his every step. His fall from grace was swift and merciless, leaving him stripped of everything he once held dear: his home, his career, and most painfully, his young son Noah. As Jack huddles in a dimly lit alley, seeking shelter from the biting wind, he notices a figure stumbling nearby. A woman, clearly unprepared for the harsh weather, shivers violently as she makes her way down the street. Without a second thought, Jack removes his worn but warm coat and approaches her. "Here," he says softly, draping the coat over her trembling shoulders. "You need this more than I do." The woman, stunned by this unexpected act of kindness, looks up at Jack with tears in her eyes. Little does Jack know that this simple gesture will set in motion a chain of events that will change both their lives forever. As the woman clutches the coat tightly around her, she feels something in the pocket. Reaching inside, she pulls out a crumpled piece of paper. Her eyes widen as she unfolds it, revealing a child's crayon drawing. The center, two stick figures, one tall, one small, hold hands beneath a crudely drawn sun. At the bottom, in wobbly letters, are the words, "I love you, Daddy. Please come home, Noah." The woman's breath catches in her throat as she realizes the magnitude of Jack's sacrifice. This coat, this last connection to his son, given freely to a stranger in need. She turns to thank him, but Jack has already disappeared into the shadows of the city. As she makes her way home, the woman, Sarah Thompson, CEO of a major corporation, can't shake the image of Jack from her mind. His act of kindness has stirred something deep within her, a long-buried memory that refuses to stay hidden. Sarah finds herself transported back to her own childhood, a time of fear and uncertainty. She remembers huddling in a doorway, cold and alone, when a stranger approached. Without a word, the man removed his coat and wrapped it around her small frame before disappearing into the night. That single act of compassion changed the course of her life, giving her the strength to persevere and eventually rise to the top of the business world. Now, decades later, history has repeated itself. Sarah realizes that she has been given a chance to pay forward the kindness that saved her all those years ago. With renewed purpose, she sets her vast resources in motion, determined to find the man who gave her his coat. Days turn into weeks as Sarah's team scours the city, following every lead and chasing every rumor. Finally, after countless dead ends, they locate Jack in a rundown shelter on the outskirts of town. Sarah rushes to meet him, her heart pounding with anticipation. When she arrives, she finds Jack sitting alone, his eyes distant and filled with pain. Sarah approaches cautiously, introducing herself and explaining how his act of kindness affected her. Jack listens silently, barely reacting to her words. Undeterred, Sarah makes him an offer that would change most people's lives in an instant. A high-level position in her company based not on his current circumstances, but on the strength of character he displayed that night on the street. To her surprise, Jack refuses. "I'm not the man I used to be," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. "I've lost everything. I don't deserve a second chance." Sarah realizes that to reach Jack, she needs to open up herself. Taking a deep breath, she shares her own story. The night a stranger's kindness saved her life, and how it inspired her to build a community center in his honor. She tells Jack about the countless lives that have been changed because of that one selfless act, and how his kindness is part of that same sacred cycle. As Sarah speaks, something begins to shift in Jack's eyes. A flicker of hope, long extinguished, starts to burn anew. Slowly, hesitantly, he agrees to give Sarah's offer a chance. In the months that follow, Jack's presence transforms Sarah's company. His innate empathy and compassion, born from his own struggles, inspire those around him to look beyond profit margins and see the human impact of their work. The once soulless corporation begins to evolve, becoming a force for positive change in the community. As Jack rebuilds his life, piece by painstaking piece, he takes steps to reconnect with his son Noah. The journey is not easy, filled with setbacks and moments of doubt, but Jack perseveres, driven by the memory of that crayon drawing and the love it represents. Throughout it all, Sarah stands by Jack's side, offering support and understanding. Their shared experiences forge a bond between them that grows stronger with each passing day. They become not just colleagues, but true friends, each finding in the other a kindred spirit who understands the transformative power of kindness. 1 year to the day after their fateful encounter on the street, Sarah organizes a company-wide celebration. As employees gather in the main atrium, she takes the stage, a large envelope in her hands. With tears in her eyes, she recounts the story of how she met Jack and the incredible journey they've shared. "Jack," she says, her voice filled with emotion, "you gave me your coat when you had nothing else to give. Today, I want to give you something in return." She opens the envelope and pulls out a document, the deed to a house. "This is for you and Noah, a place to call home and a fresh start for both of you." The room erupts in applause as Jack, overwhelmed, makes his way to the stage. But as he reaches Sarah, he surprises everyone by dropping to one knee. From his pocket, he produces a small velvet box. "Sarah," he says, his voice trembling with emotion, "you didn't just give me a job or a house. You gave me back my life, my son, and my hope for the future. Will you marry me?" The room falls silent as Sarah, tears streaming down her face, nods yes. As Jack slips the ring onto her finger, the crowd erupts in cheers and applause. In that moment, as Jack and Sarah embrace, surrounded by the warmth and joy of their newfound family, the cycle of kindness comes full circle. From a single act of compassion on a cold night, a story of love, redemption, and the enduring power of human connection has blossomed, a testament to the profound impact that one small gesture of kindness can have on the world.